Hello, Dr. Becca and Liz here. This is going to be a short video kind of talking about how we can start teaching some relational frames. We always want to start elementary, right? And so elementary is concrete. So I have a book, Three Little Pugs and the Big Bad Cat, and Liz has a basketball. So one of the ways we would start would be, I have this book and Liz has a ball. So I might say, who has the book?
You.
That's right. Who has the ball?
Me.
Yes. Who does not have the ball?
You.
Right? So right there, we just did some conditional discrimination. Who does not have a book?
Me.
Excellent. So who could read a story?
You.
Yes. Who could play catch?
Me.
Good. Who could not play catch?
You.
Right. So you see how I've just kicked it up a notch. We were just talking about tacting, who has it and who doesn't. Then we kind of move to function, conditional, right? So yes and no. So who can do this function versus who can't, based on the items that we can see. Then maybe we go to something that's not concrete. So I'll take the ball, right? We've mastered that and we're ready to move on. So I might say, I'm afraid of birds, and Liz is not afraid of birds. So I might say, who's afraid of birds?
You.
That's right. Who's not afraid of birds?
Me.
That's right. So we've established we're talking about something that's not present in this room. Then to kind of, that I've made known, right? So I have to say I'm afraid of birds before we do this. And then tell me something you're afraid of.
The dark.
The dark. So who's afraid of the dark?
Me.
Yes. Who is not afraid of the dark?
You.
Right. So if we were in a park and there were lots of birds, who would be afraid?
You.
Yes. If it was dark in my room at night, if it was dark in a room at night, who would be afraid?
Me.
You're right. Who would not be afraid of a dark room?
You.
That's right. So see, and Liz is thinking this through, right? You sort of see it happening. That's normal. We are fairly neurotypical individuals, and we're having to think this through. When you first do it, it's going to be slower, right? So if I say, who is at the aviary and would be afraid? Liz would say me, but she probably would be like, okay, so first what's an aviary? And then I'm not afraid of birds, but Becca is, so I would say Dr. Becca, right? So we move towards fluency. This is a great way to incorporate some precision teaching and fluency, because even with our concrete examples, we're going to think them through, but then we want to move towards fluency, because communication with another person has to be fluent to keep going, right? So we go for accuracy first, then we move to fluency. Then we might move to that more abstract fears, right? And then we want to move that to fluency. I've got plenty of standard acceleration charts if you're interested, and we can talk more about that fluency piece. But this is a way to move to that. Then we might say, I'm from Pennsylvania and Liz is from New Jersey. So I might say, who is not from Pennsylvania?
Me.
Yes. Who is from Pennsylvania?
You.
So who might be a Steelers fan?
You.
Right? So see here, it's not in the room. It's more abstract because it's not concrete, but it's also not just fears or likes. It's making inferences, and we want to keep going through that towards fluency. So I might say, who might be used to the cold?
Me.
Or me, right? It could be both. So the answer, so that would be kicking it up an even more notch where it's not mutually exclusive. It could be either of us, right? So we're getting into that gray area, which is humans and likes and dislikes and social interaction. So I hope that this video gives you some ideas about how we can do some more intentional programming for those relational frames, starting at the very concrete and then building up towards that more abstract, sort of normal, typical communication, and that we're not just looking for accuracy. We've got to move to fluency in these areas. Thank you, Liz.
You got it.